I like all of these figurines. That's pretty cool. Is that Thanos?
It is, yes.
My father.
I think this entire day was worth it just for that statement. So one of the things about this is that every time you make an action, I believe all the movies you've made that involve action have always been with also men. What I loved about this is it's just a group of kick-ass women working together. Can you sort of talk? I mean, I'm assuming that was like your immediate reason for saying yes to this project.
It was definitely one of the reasons, because it's just quite rare to have like a whole group of women. Normally there's some, but the majority are men. And so to get to work with like an incredible group of actresses, and they weren't even cast yet. So only Lena was cast, and that was enough to obviously make me say yes. But then when I heard who the other actresses were going to be, I was like, this is the jackpot. Brilliant.
I completely agree. As I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, I can't imagine what it was like in between takes, getting to hang out with this cast.
Yeah, I was pretty starstruck, to be honest. So I think I was trying to play it cool. I don't know. I must have been coming off weird. But no, we had a really good time. I mean, we had wine when we had downtime, and me and Lena were just making ridiculous videos for Instagram constantly, to the point where they were like, please stop. You're making too much noise and we're trying to shoot a movie.
Before I run out of time with you, even though I have a lot of time, I loved in the third act that slow motion tracking shot that won her. It's so badass.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's reason enough just to watch the movie, is just for that shot, because it's so cool. Can you sort of talk about filming that shot, because that could not have been easy?
So yeah, that shot, actually, I think that mainly involves, I didn't have the heavy lifting in that one. So that was kind of all on the ladies. And I don't know how they managed to pull that off as quickly as they did, because I believe that was the first thing they shot in the entire movie. And so that was wild, and it just looks incredible. But like I had to do one that was like a one take shot, and that's my first fight sequence in the movie in a bowling alley. And that was a lot of pressure because we had to get that perfect. It's the first one of the movie, and it was just actors, no stunt doubles. And so like I felt the pressure of that. So I can only imagine the girls in that final sequence were feeling the pressure too, but they're badass. They pulled it off.
If you could have any of your previous characters join you in the library for a fight sequence, in the fights, who would it be and why?
I'm going to say Ruby Roundhouse from Jumanji. If she could join me, because then we'd have a soundtrack while we fight, which could be fun.
I did not think about that, but that's totally true. If you could, completely different question, if you could guest star on any TV show, what would you guest star on and why? And same question, if you could guest direct something.
Oh, does it have to be a TV show that's on air right now?
You could go in the past.
Oh, Friends, 100%.
You're a fan.
Hardcore fan. Like, that's all I watched growing up in Scotland, was just episodes of Friends. And I was like, I'm going to move to New York and I'm going to have Friends.
Does this also apply for what you would guest direct?
I'd be so scared. I don't know if I could even talk to those actors, genuinely. I think I would just be like,
I'm assuming you watched the reunion then?
Yeah, and I made something similar to that noise.
That's great. One of the things about the film is that there is a lot of cool aesthetic colors. Like the choices of color in the film are really cool. Did you notice all that when you were on set, or like how did you know what I mean?
I did notice some of it in terms of like the costumes and the colors chosen for even like the body bags were like yellow. There was just all these like interesting choices around. But I didn't really grasp it in its full form until I watched the movie, because then I could see the lighting, because I really wasn't, seeing the lighting properly as it was going down the camera. And so it's a visual feast. I mean, Michael, the DP, has just nailed it. And they've just done some really cool stuff with color in the movie.
Yeah, no, your DP is kind of talented. He's okay.
Oh, yeah. He's made a few good movies.
Yeah, I'm underselling. What do you think might surprise people to learn about the making of the film, if anything?
I mean, as violent as it is, we were having the biggest laugh ever. I mean, just very silly women coming together and being silly, and then it was like action, and it was like looking badass. But very different off camera, very silly, a lot of jokes and pranks and stuff like that. And I would say that also, like, this is a slightly new thing. I mean, it's not completely new, but like just seeing female assassins that do have more, like, they're not just stoic and hard. There's like a lot of emotion going on, and they are like really complex characters, and we're not just getting glimpses of the emotion, we're getting access to their minds, which is something we don't see as often with female assassins or assassins in general. So that's kind of cool.
I completely agree. I am really looking forward to the Marvel cartoon animated series What If. I believe you did a voice or did some of it.
I did.
Can you tease what can you tease for that series?
Oh, I can tease that Nebula is going to be very different in that. Like a very different visual and persona.
Have you seen any of the final episodes or no?
No, nothing. I just remember seeing my character and being like, whoa, this is a departure from the Nebula that we know.
I cannot wait. You are also in the upcoming Thor sequel. And I'm definitely curious, what was your reaction reading the script for the first time? And what can you tease about it?
What can I tell you without telling you anything?
Basically, yes.
This is the art form that you have to master when you're in a Marvel movie, is talk without saying a single thing.
Well, that's why I often ask people about reading the script for the first time and their reaction to it, because it doesn't spoil the movie, and you can get a taste of what you thought.
My reaction reading the script was like excitement. It was like, this is going to be a hell of a ride. It's Taika at his best and his most Taika. And yeah, I mean, the Guardians in it are just, I think, hilarious. And also Thor is even more hilarious than he was last time.
I cannot wait. Have you read James's script for Guardians 3?
Yeah.
What can you say about that, and when do you start filming?
I read that script with Pom Clementieff, who plays Mantis. We read it together, and we both cried and laughed, but there was full tears. It's incredible. I think it's James's strongest work yet with the Guardians, and it's just brilliant. It's brilliant, and it's emotional, and it's funny, and it's all of those things that you want.
I couldn't be more excited. Listen, congrats on this movie, and I hope that it's a huge hit for you guys.
Thank you so much.